Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. We all have our lives that we lead in this world. And what I've seen over the years is that many people have difficulties and they complain about these difficulties. They complain about their illnesses. They complain about their financial situation. They complain and complain. When people are comfortable and when everything seems to be going well, there's not a lot of talking. But when there's difficulty, there's a lot of talking. When things are going well, people forget about their difficulties and they forget about the anxiety they were feeling, the stress they were feeling, the anxiousness they were feeling, and they forget about God. They forget to talk to God. They forget that when they were in the midst of difficulty, they were saying, why are you putting me through these tests? What's going on? Why are you making it so difficult for me? Instead, now they find themselves in a certain kind of peace because everything's going well. But things change. Things are constantly changing. And life is like this roller coaster. And because it's like a roller coaster, we are constantly in a state of either being satisfied or being dissatisfied. And the reason that it's like a roller coaster, the reason we go in and out of being satisfied and being dissatisfied is we're looking for the wrong things for satisfaction. We have the world and the things that we take from the world. And everything that we take from the world is, in fact, stolen. We steal from the earth. We steal from animals. We steal from other people. We are constantly in a ongoing trajectory that moves in and out of trying to obtain things in this world. And all the things we obtain come from somewhere else. And all of the things that we obtain from the world disappear. All of the things that we obtain from the world only give satisfaction for a period of time. They don't give an absolute kind of satisfaction. This world, as so many have said, is a stage, and we are actors in this drama. And we have to put this drama that we are living in into perspective. For some people, this drama that we live in is their entire life. To them, there is nothing beyond this drama. And so their life consists of interaction with the world and interaction with the things of the world. But it also looks for satisfaction in the things of the world, as if the things of the world can satisfy you, if the things of the world can bring you to a place of peace. In truth, it doesn't work like that. In truth, we have to understand the larger trajectory of our existence. The fact that this phase that we're in right now is only a period of our existence. And there is more to our existence than this worldly life. And there is the ability to attach ourselves to that which is permanent, to that which is eternal in this life. But instead, so many people are in the process of trying to accumulate the world, and they're attached to the world, and their only source of satisfaction, their only search for satisfaction comes within the world. There was a farmer who was very, very poor, and his only possession was a shovel. He lived on somebody else's land, and he had a little tiny garden, and he would work and he would grow some food on his little tiny garden, and this was how he sustained and maintained himself. Well, he got older and older and came to the conclusion that he just wanted to go off in the mountains, build a small hut, and live as a hermit. So he took his shovel and he buried his shovel in the ground and went off to go to the mountains. Shortly after he started his trek, he started to think about his shovel. Did he bury it well enough? Did he hide it well enough? Would somebody else find it? So he returned to his shovel. And as he was there, he looked and he was satisfied that he had hidden it well enough. And he went back out to go towards the mountains. After an hour or two, the same thoughts kept coming to his head. What about my shovel? I've lost my wealth. And he went back again to see if he had buried it well enough. And he found himself satisfied that, yeah, it was probably okay. He did this 3 or 4 times. Every time he would get within an hour and a half from his shovel, he would return back to worry about it again, or see about it again, or see if it was okay. Finally, he began to understand that this is a major problem in his life. He dug up the shovel and he went to a river, and with all his strength threw the shovel in the river and let it go. And he began to scream, I won, I won, I won. And across on the other side of the small river was a king. And he said to one of his men, he said, I've won many battles. I've conquered many countries, but I never stood there screaming, I won, I won, I won. I have to see what's going on with this man. So they figured out how to forge the river, get across to him, and met him. And they said, why are you screaming, I won, I won, I won? I'm a king. I've won many battles. Never did I stand and scream like you did. And he said, O king, with all due respect, you have won many battles and you have conquered many lands. But today I conquered myself. And I tell you, this is the biggest victory. And I proclaimed it so that all could hear, and so that I could hear, and so that God could hear. And now I can go on my way. Well, we are all in this battle for our own freedom and for our own victory. And whether we can find it or not depends on our attitude, because each man, each one of us, each woman has to search for the truth by themselves. They have to go on a trek to find reality. There was a monk who was entering a town, and there was a watchman at the gate of the town. And as he entered, he said to him, who are you? Where are you going? And why are you going there? And the monk said to him, before I answer these questions, can I ask you a question? And the watchman said, okay. And he said, how much do they pay you a week? And he said, they give me 2 baskets of rice per week. He said, well, I'll add to that by giving you a basket of rice a week if every day you come find me and ask me these questions. Ask me, who am I, where am I going, and why am I going there? We, each of us, need to constantly be reminded, who am I? Where am I going? And why am I going there? The answers to these questions are really different for everybody, dependent on their attitude towards existence and their attitude towards this life. For a lot of people, the answer to the question, who am I, is simply to give their name and their title. Where are they going? They're going to a specific location. And why are they going there? To further the drama that exists in this life, to somehow make this drama work more to their benefit. And for many people, this drama is their life. I remember when I was sitting in front of my teacher one time, and he said to the group in general, he said, make sure when you go to the movies and the lights go on, the show isn't over. In other words, are we constantly living our life in the drama, in the show, or do we have an internal existence that is other than this drama? People complain about their situations. People consider themselves orphans. People consider themselves victims. People consider themselves all kinds of things by putting blame on others. But if people would only realize that the truth to their problems, the truth to finding the difficulties that they have to be done away with, is to find a way towards Allah, to find a way towards God, to find a connection towards God. And for those who are in this search, if they find a teacher, what are the teacher's methods in order to bring them towards truth? What are the teacher's methods in order to take them away from this drama which fades, which changes, and which disappears, in order to take them away from their love of the wealth in this world, which also fades and disappears? What are the tools that the teacher uses? The first tool is love. Before anything can be taught to anyone, they have to feel loved. Before anything can be shown to anyone, they have to feel loved, because love gives them a sense of peace. Love gives them a sense of protection. Love gives them a sense of feeling welcome. Love gives them a sense of being enveloped. Love gives them the sense that a mother is there and a father is there. Love gives them the sense that someone cares about them. Love gives them the understanding that there is something else in this world besides physical possessions. All of a sudden, a transition is made, that this feeling of love that's given to someone, and when they truly feel it, it does for them what gold and gems and worldly possessions can't do. It gives them a sense of warmth. It gives them a sense of acceptance. It gives them a sense of belonging. And without this love, a true turn towards reality can't occur. So what happens after love is given? Well, it's like the petri dish that everything else grows in. Without love, the rest can't come. With love, then the rest can be shown, the rest can be explained, the rest can be turned to. And what is that rest? That rest is the beginning of understanding of what wisdom is. That rest is to take you out of mind and desire and take you into the state that is formless, take you into the state where the things that are without form become more important in your life than the things with form. Love doesn't have form. It doesn't have weight. It doesn't have substance in the sense of elemental substance. It exists, but it exists beyond form. And truth exists beyond form. So to get people to the point where they understand that there is a force in this world that is beyond form, that is with you all the time, that goes with you everywhere that you are, that is constantly watching over you, that is constantly looking to help you, first, you have to have this connection between the sheikh, the teacher, the guru, and the disciple, that love exists. Once that happens, the rest can be entered into, and explanations of wisdom can begin. Explanations of truth can begin. Explanations of wisdom can begin. And you can begin to explain the fact that this drama isn't real, that somehow this drama developed around you and you didn't even notice it happening, and all of a sudden you're enveloped, engulfed, and embedded within the trauma and within the drama. And this drama is an incredibly important part of your life. There was once a teacher who was meditating with his students, and the teacher had a cat, and the cat made a lot of noise. So they took the cat at the start of every meditation, they took him outside and tied him up so he wouldn't disturb the goings on of the teacher and his students meditating. As time went on, the teacher died, but they continued to take the cat outside and tie him up when a new teacher came so he wouldn't disturb what was going on. Well, more years went by, and then the cat died. And so they got a new cat, and they tied the new cat up outside. And soon scholars began to write about the importance of tying up the cat outside, and how this was an important part of whatever ritual one was doing. And it happens like this. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, we're involved in drama, and the drama becomes part of life, and it becomes an important part of life. We have to reduce. We have to reduce the drama. We have to reduce the dependence on worldly wealth. We have to reduce the dependence on the things within the world that we believe give us joy. We have to reduce what we expect from the world. We have to reduce the world that we've taken in within us. And we have to get it down to the simplistic reality of asking ourselves the questions: who am I? Where am I going? And why am I going there? Where did I come from? What is this about? And the teacher will tell you, you were created by a merciful, compassionate creator who gave you a part of himself. And in truth, if you look at who you are in reality connected to him. And to find truth, you have to surrender to him and give up the attachments to this world. Give up the attachments to your belief system in the wealth of this world. Give up your attachments to the needs of this world. And as that happens, you will become free. You will become free of all of the attachments to the world because you've replaced them with the love of God. God has you as a very important part of this creation. God has taken the time not only to create you out of his love and compassion, but out of his love and compassion, he's also sent all the prophets. He's also sent all the teachers. He's also sent all the ketubs. And he sent them for what reason? So that you can find truth, so that you can see truth, so that you can find what's real. And he's given you methods in order to find what's real. And he sent teachers who are manifestations from his light so that you can look at them and think they are men and learn from them. There was once a man who was trying to teach a parrot how to talk, and the parrot wouldn't listen. So he put up a mirror in front of the parrot and spoke from behind the mirror. And the parrot began to listen, and soon the parrot began to talk because the parrot thought that he was learning from another parrot. Well, God has sent us prophets who are truly lights in this world to teach us. And we believe they are men who know the truth, but in fact, they are gifts that came from God to show us the truth. He sent us ketubs who come here as manifestations of divine knowledge to give us divine knowledge. But more importantly, they show us what divinity within man looks like. They show us what divine knowledge within man looks like, what truth within man looks like, what mercy within man looks like, what reality within man looks like. And then you can begin to see the difference between ignorant man and transcended man. You can see the difference between man who's caught in the drama of this world and to whom this drama appears to be life, and the man who sees beyond the drama, who isn't affected by the drama, who doesn't get involved in the drama, who lives life with the understanding that life comes from Allah, that life as we know it in this embodiment is temporary in its nature, and that we move on, and we move on towards truth. And only when we begin to realize this trajectory, only when we begin to move on, when we begin to realize this path and the nature of this path, can we find true contentment within our lives? Can we find true peace within our lives? But there are many things to overcome. We have obligations and responsibilities in this world. When we're young, we have families and we have to provide for them. We have to have jobs. We have to make a living. We can't say, God, everything should be given to me from you. And I remember I met this young man once when I was traveling, and he was sort of without means. He had very little. And I asked him why he was the way he was, why he didn't get a job, why he didn't take care of himself better. And his response to me was, I told God he has to take care of me. And I told God if he wants me to be taken care of in this world, he's going to have to do it for me. Well, this kind of an attitude will leave you sitting on the side of the road as a beggar with nothing. We have a responsibility to carry on within this drama. We have obligations within this drama. So even though this drama is short-lived, even though this drama is not real, even though it disappears, while we're in it, we have to do what's necessary within it. And that's why there is the law of the Shariat, which tells you what you can and cannot do within this drama. So before you disappear from this drama, you have to act within this drama, but you have to act within a certain way. So even though this is a temporary situation, even though it's going to disappear, we still have our obligations within it. But we have to be able to do these obligations without attachment. When I first started working, I was a lawyer, and I used to come home, and every night I would tell my wife about everything I did and about my cases and how important they were. After 3 years, I never said another word. The point being that you get to the point where you can do things without being attached to them and without them being your life. You have to understand that your life is different than your work. Your life is different than your titles. Your life is different than your money. Your life is different than your wealth. Your life is different than your fame. And you have to take care of this life. You have to know what's right and wrong for this life. And you have to understand that this life continues beyond what we see in this world. Everybody we know, everything that we see disappears. Everything that we take as real disappears. All the histories that we talk about disappear. We wonder, why do we keep writing down the histories? You know, there's a saying that the history of the world is written by the victors. There's a constant war going on in this world, and the people who win the war tell you what happened. The people who lose the war don't get written about very much at all. The truth is, all of these histories aren't real. Bawa used to be asked to talk about himself, and he said, my history isn't real. The only history that is real is his story, and I'm here to speak about his story. So if we want to understand reality, if we want to understand truth, we have to find out about his story. And we'll only learn the truth about his story from somebody who loves humanity. We won't find out about his story from somebody who loves religion, or for somebody who loves institutions, or from somebody who loves races, or for somebody who loves differences. We're only going to find out the truth about his story from somebody who loves all of humanity, because that which separates him or me or you from other people separates us from Allah. Allah created each and every one of us. If we separate ourselves from any one of us, we've separated ourselves from him. So if you are involved in a way that doesn't have love at the center of it, it's a false way. If love is not at the core of what's being taught, if love is not at the core of what is being transmitted, it's a false way. And we have to understand that it's a false way. Otherwise, we will get caught up in it and we will become fanatics, fanatics of a sort that will kill for the sake of our religion, that will mutilate for the sake of our belief in truth, that will separate one people from another people and say, these are worthy and these are not. All of these ways don't have love at their core. They have separation, they have differences, they have mine and yours. Once we know truth, these things disappear. And until these things disappear, we don't know truth. We have an imagination of the truth. We have a movie of the truth. We have a shadow of the truth, but we don't have truth. Truth comes through love, and after love comes, wisdom can come. But without love, wisdom can't enter into the equation. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is obtaining the gracious qualities of our Creator. Wisdom is beginning to understand compassion, beginning to understand mercy, and beginning to understand the unity among all existence. And if we deny that unity, we deny truth. And if we deny truth, we deny love. We can't love A and not love B. We can't love B and not love C. We have to have an acceptance for all of humanity, and we have to stop putting humanity into boxes. These people are like this, those people are like that, and we don't deal with these people, we only deal with those people. Only these people have the right to God. God gave us all our existence. God gave us all our breath. God gave us all the ability to exist and the ability to come to know Him. And this is the great gift within this world. Gold is not the gift within this world. Gems are not the gift within this world. Paper with pictures on it that we call money is not the gift in this world. The gift is to be able to integrate ourselves into compassion. The gift is to be able to integrate ourselves into mercy. The gift is to be able to integrate ourselves into justice. Allah is justice, and He's allowed us to feel justice. Allah is truth, and He's allowed us to feel truth. He's compassion, and He's allowed us to feel compassion. What greater gift is there that Allah can give to us than to share His own being with us? And what greater accomplishment can we have in this world than to be able to integrate God within ourselves? When we begin to understand this, and we also begin to understand simultaneously that there is no other way, then we will become the ones who follow the straight path, the path of truth. And what can we do in order to follow this path? Well, meditation consists of many parts. One part is to rid ourselves of all of the qualities that are not godly, to rid ourselves of anger, to rid ourselves of hastiness, to rid ourselves of empathy, of the lack of empathy, to rid ourselves of hatred, to rid ourselves of jealousy, to rid ourselves of differences. And one of the ways that we can do that is to remind ourselves of the qualities of God. It's called remembrance. It's also called zikr. And zikr is the repetition of the names of God so that we get the resonance of those names vibrating within us. And as they vibrate within us, and as we understand their meaning more and more and more, we become more like unto that. And as we become more like unto that, we become more like unto our Creator. If we are to return to our Creator after this span is over, if we are to be worthy of our Creator after this span is over, if we are to be accepted by our Creator after this span is over, we must come to be a friend of His. We must come to know Him. We must come to be like Him, to be accepted by Him. Only God will know God. Only truth will know truth. Only compassion can know compassion. So for us to bypass the constant rebirth and being left in this world to do it all over and over and over again, we have to leave the qualities of this world and accept the qualities of the Creator. That is our salvation. The qualities of our Creator are our salvation, and He's laid it out for us, and He's given it to us, and He sent us messengers with that message, and He sent us teachers with that message. Take on those qualities. Hold on to those qualities. This is your true wealth. This is what will bring you transcendence so that you can leave this world of illusion and enter into reality. We have to take this deeply within ourselves. We have to believe this deeply within ourselves. This has to become our truth. And this has to become the answer to the question of where are we going to? We're going to our Lord. And how are we going to our Lord? By accepting His qualities and integrating them within us. May each of us begin to understand the monumental importance of these words. May each of us begin to understand the gracious qualities of our Lord, and may each of us become those gracious qualities. Ameen, Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.